Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rewriting Wrestling History. Anthony here, along with Larry. Larry, welcome back to round 2 of this fun tournament.
The semifinals that now actually exist in this tournament.
Yes, we are continuing the 1990 Intercontinental Championship tournament in the WWF to crown a new champion after the Ultimate Warrior had to vacate the title after WrestleMania 6. And as Larry alluded to, the second round, or the semifinals of this tournament, never happened because there were 2 buys in the first round.
Which I always, it's fun. Just real quick, like in today's tournaments when things happen, like once in a while in my head, I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if like there were like other matches that went to draws and like someone buyed all the way to the finals, or maybe like they had the one match and buyed all the way. But in my head, I'm like, that'd be stupid. But here we are, 1990, no semifinals.
Yeah, well, and they were able to get away with it because these were shown on WWF Superstars on Saturday morning. So, and because they broke the tournament up over the course of, obviously 2 weeks instead of 3. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I might have said they did break it up over several weeks because they didn't do a whole tournament bracket per episode.
Yeah, it wasn't a one-night thing. Yeah,
but because they broke it all up, it was very easy to not notice that there were no semifinals.
Well, not only that, it was also 1990, so it was easy to not notice. I mean, I don't even think really dirt sheets were readily available back then. They were around, but no one knew unless you were there going, wait a minute, what is going on here?
Exactly.
Look, that was the reason why Andre the Giant was undefeated and never been body slammed until 1987.
That is 100% correct.
So,
and as we're going here, we pointed this out last week during the first round that this tournament has been completely rewritten, not only because we got a semifinals round, but the fact that the 2 men who made it to the finals, Tito Santana and Mr. Perfect, were both eliminated in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so, and after we went through the quarterfinals, it has now been determined that regardless of what happens moving forward, this whole tournament has been completely 100% for the first time in rewriting wrestling history, 100% rewritten.
Yes, exactly. All 7 matches will be rewritten. And
well,
here
maybe
we are,
6. We don't know.
6,
One of these might end
six.
in a double count out or something.
We're getting. I think I can go out on a limb and tell you we're getting a final.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think I would rewrite it to have a bye in the final round. Any tournament that would do a bye in the final round is insane.
That's what I'm saying. Do a bye. Someone's got to do it. It had to happen on some indie show somewhere, just like in a tag team title match, ladder match. One day, one guy from one team and one guy from the other team are going to climb up, each grab a belt, and they become tag champions. How that hasn't happened is beyond me.
Yeah, you know what? I do agree with you on that. That would be kind of funny if it did.
Weird. How did Akeem get the list of that one?
I have no idea. But meanwhile, we've got Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and Akeem in the semifinals here.
Yes.
Beefcake, also another wrestler who would have been a good Intercontinental Champion.
I think would have been a great Intercontinental Champion. Another one I was kind of shocked. I thought he was going to take it at WrestleMania 4, which he did not against Honky Tonk Man. But
well, we don't need. We went into that story during WrestleMania 4, and if you want to hear that, go back to our WrestleMania 4 episode of Rewriting Wrestling History, where Honky Tonk Man may have dictated that entire tournament all on his own.
I'm proud of how you did that. All right. But no, Brutus Beefcake would have been a great champion. Now, last week in the quarterfinals, I said that my choice for a finals would be Akeem against Roddy Piper. And right now, so far so good. So we'll see what happens out of the outcome of this match, which right now, Beefcake with a nice arm drag on Akeem.
Yep, and my predictions were, and I told you the reasons why, I wanted Tito Santana and Rick Martel in the finals so that we can finally get a resolution to their feud. But obviously, I am not getting that resolution still.
Alas. Ooh.
Alas, Vince wins again.
As he always does, apparently, in many situations. Now, Akeem did this in his first round match, picked him up from the ground, running power slam. But Beefcake's smart enough to get out of the ring. But
not only smart enough to get out of the ring, but no sold it and then came back in to get a shoulder block.
Meanwhile, we got a cover. 2. No, only 1 count. I was going to say, Akeem being a bit more agile than we're used to seeing him.
Yeah. But even back then, I mean, I thought he moved around the ring pretty well for a guy his size.
Oh, 100%. When him and Boss Man teamed up, I honestly thought for 2 big men, they moved so quick. Them against the Rockers at WrestleMania 5.
That was such a good match.
It was such a great match, and dare I say, a fast-paced match. Fast-paced for the Rockers, absolutely. Yep. And for what they could do, fast-paced for the Twin Towers.
Totally agree, 100%.
Yeah.
And actually, it was funny, too, because I was surprised when they broke up the Twin Towers. Obviously, I didn't know at the time, like, Akeem's contract wasn't getting renewed because I thought they were, again, another tag team where I'm like, I thought they were destined to win the tag titles because at the time, it's like, who else would you have had to go up against Demolition at the time?
And them and Demolition, I mean, granted, it was a 6-man tag at SummerSlam. But, Twin Towers and Demolition, I'd watch all day, every day.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, big spine buster from Akeem.
And the elbow drop.
Yes. He might have him on this one. You got to cover. 2. No, still.
Almost.
Beefcake getting his shoulder up. Now, here's a fun fact.
Oh, boy.
Fun fact is now Beefcake is a permanent part of the ring.
Yes,
you can see the outline in the mat.
He is now Pancake.
2, 3. There we go. My fun fact was going to be Beefcake actually went to barber school. But be that as it may, Akeem in the final. Hey, I'm enjoying this tournament. Akeem is now in the finals of the Intercontinental title tournament.
Larry, I feel like you're cheating on this one. I think you got hold of the results before we started recording this.
I was not hanging out in your laundry room and taking a peek when you were editing this. I promise you I was not.
And for those of you just tuning into us, the way that these go is that I run the matches on, well, this is WWE 2K25. I run the matches on 2K25. I edit everything together, and then we commentate the matches. Larry never has any advanced knowledge as to what happens on these shows. And here comes Superfly, Jimmy Snuka.
Yes. Another great theme song, actually.
Yes. And now this is going to be an interesting match because obviously 2 fan favorites going against each other, which very, very rarely happened back in the day. Obviously, Hogan and Ultimate Warrior being
which was a big,
that.
And that was a big, I remember when they announced Hogan and Warrior, I'm like, this is not possible.
Right. But what I was about to say here with Snuka and Piper is it's a little bit of a throwback to their feud back in the 80s. Obviously, when Piper broke a coconut over Jimmy Snuka's head.
Very much so. So there is that history. And even back in the 90s, a time where WWE absolutely had revisionist history and, and you were able to do it back then. Again, no internet. So, kind of every once in a blue moon, they'd be like, like if this match actually happened, maybe they'd bring up the fact that Piper hit Snuka with the coconut and broke it over his head. But I think these two also what would lead at this point in their careers, both fan favorites. And I mentioned this during the quarterfinals. Piper wrestles like controlled. I don't want to use the word sloppy. Controlled chaos.
Yeah.
And same with Snuka. So it's not going to be like a catch as catch can, move for move, though we'll see what this offers us. But the 2 of them were just so wild in their own ways. It would have been so much fun to watch. To a point where I feel like, and I'm not counting 2008 Royal Rumble, but I feel like maybe one of the early Rumbles, like Piper and Snuka hooked up in the Rumble, even for a few seconds, and maybe we saw a little bit of that. I gotta go back and watch like 1990, 1991, maybe even 92. During Snuka's era.
Yeah, definitely not 91 because Piper was on commentary.
That's right. That's right. You're right. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, 90 and 92 would be the opportunities where that would have happened.
Yeah. But we're getting it here, and a little bit of also from WrestleMania 1. Even though Snuka was in the corner of Hogan and Mr. T.
That is correct.
He was definitely involved. And look at this Piper. He remembers. He's going right after him.
Yeah.
Otherwise going after his head, though. That's the hardest part of Snuka's body.
I was just going to say, you do not want to go at his head. No way.
No, not at all. But Piper's taking it to Snuka right now.
Now,
So
something you said earlier I want to touch on is when you're talking about revisionist history and how WWF used to be able to get away with that, and all wrestling promotions used to be able to get away with that because the internet wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
There were some very significant moments that were reversed throughout the course of history. The one I always think of specifically is when the Rockers defeated the Hart Foundation for the tag team titles at a house show.
Yeah.
But because the middle or top rope during the match,
I think it was the middle.
Yeah, it was the middle or top rope during the match broke, and because of that, Vince McMahon opted just not to recognize the fact that happened.
It was a 2 out of 3 falls match. Yeah. I believe it was taped for Saturday night's main event. Oh, look at Piper just shoving Snook over the top of the outside.
Like you said, controlled chaos.
Yeah. And I believe the rope broke during the second fall, and they were going to 3. So the third fall, I don't remember the third fall. No, they probably fixed it. WWE would have fixed the ropes by then. So, but they had to finish that second fall with the broken rope. And you're right, for no other purpose than cosmetically speaking, it just didn't look good with the broken rope. Ended up, and what's funny is what I'd like is kind of get Vince's take. Where is Piper going? Hold on. Piper's on the top rope. Snook is on the outside of the ring.
I know, this is a bit of a reverse.
Oh, wow. Amazing punch off the top. Even with that happening, you would think Vince, like the following week, would have still done the match again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it might have been like, what was the reason to not move on with the Rockers as tag champs, just redoing the match?
That, you know what? That's a question only one man can answer.
That's true, yeah. Well, maybe two, Shawn Michaels.
maybe Shawn will tell you. Yeah.
And shout out to poor Marty Jannetty, who's having a hell of a time right now.
Yeah, I know. It's just terrible story. Yeah. Uh-oh, what do we got going on here? There was a
bulldog
on the outside.
Yeah, and Snuka is out like a light. Piper's back in the ring. We have a count of 8.
Declaring victory already?
He might be a little early.
You might be right.
Snook is moving. Can Snuka get him before the 10 count? No, he doesn't. Look at this.
Wow.
Piper advancing to the finals, and
Larry, you are getting your wish.
Anthony said it before. I didn't see these results, but this is amazing.
Especially because it's you. You never call anything correctly.
Holy cow!
I mean, because you never call things correctly, and there we are in the tournament. Larry's wishes are coming true. Roddy Piper and Akeem in the finals, which we will bring to you next week as we continue this 1990 Intercontinental Championship tournament. Larry, as always, thank you for joining me for Rewriting Wrestling History.
Oh, this is the best one we've done so far. I can't wait to see what happens next week for the finals.
Of course it's the best one we've done so far because you've been right and I'm wrong, and that never happens. We'll see you next time, everybody.